If Americans love one thing, it's a comeback story. And what happened in Washington today was remarkable. The culmination of a comeback story that Hollywood would reject. Take a look. Take a look at the Cheshire Cat grin on Joe Biden.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having, like we said, a smooth transition.
I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Whoa, you see the grin there? If that was the final scene in a movie script, the movie would never get made. They would say, that'll never happen in real life. Producers wouldn't make the movie, but it is real, and it's happening. Right now, very happy days for Trump supporters nationwide, but important moments for Democrats to watch and be aware of as the great correction continues across this country. Think about what the final days of the Trump presidency looked like in January 2021. His approval rating was in the low 30s, and people thought that his allies, his friends were jumping ship left and right and running to the welcome embrace of the media. That's all a distant memory now. Donald Trump returned to the White House for the first time since his last day in office 4 years ago. And as we continue to get Trump cabinet picks 68 days from Inauguration Day, the president-elect continues to assemble his team, and it's becoming more and more clear that Donald Trump is going to do it his way this time around, like Frank Sinatra in that famous song, My Way. Donald Trump is never running for elected office again. So he's going to do exactly what he wants to do. He learned from the mistakes of his first term, and now every time I see a cabinet pick, I think that is an upgrade from what we have right now in the Biden White House. If the media is upset, Donald Trump is probably doing something right. And it starts with Pete Hegseth, former Fox News host on the weekends, but also a Harvard graduate, a Princeton graduate, media savvy, two-time Purple Heart recipient. He's a veteran, America First, versus Lloyd Austin, our current Secretary of Defense. Establishment, the media loved this pick 4 years ago. A retired four-star general, all the right credentials. But when he was put to the test time and again, he failed. And what's most interesting, somehow he kept his job. It started in the summer of 2021 with that Afghanistan withdrawal. In February 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine. That war is about to enter year number 3. In 2023, remember that Chinese spy balloon that flew across the continental United States before our U.S. military finally shot it down over the ocean? And in January of this year, Lloyd Austin went to the hospital for a week and didn't tell anyone, not his staff, not his deputy. Joe Biden, the president, had no idea, but it probably doesn't matter because Joe doesn't seem to know who Lloyd Austin is in the first place. Take a look.
Look at the heat I'm getting because I named the Secretary of Defense, a black man. I named Ketanji Brown, because of the people I've named.
That right there is not peace through Trump. That's war through weakness. Pete Hegseth was the right move. He will get confirmed, and he will put America first. How about that? For Secretary of State, the president-elect chose Florida Senator Marco Rubio versus our current Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. And I would have been happy with Rick Grinnell or Marco Rubio. Antony Blinken honestly couldn't negotiate his way out of a corn maze at this point. He'd be there all night trying to figure out how to get out. Every day that he is Secretary of State, he puts American lives at risk. His record, a perfect 0, a goose egg. He hasn't negotiated a ceasefire in Gaza. He hasn't negotiated a peace deal in Ukraine. He hasn't done anything to slow down the Iranian nuclear program. And most shockingly, he hasn't done anything to get American hostages out of Gaza. The strange thing, somehow, after all of this, they both, Lloyd Austin and Antony Blinken, still have jobs. Why doesn't Joe Biden fire anybody? So what's ended up happening as a result of that is the mistake never gets corrected, and America pays the price. I'll take Marco Rubio. For National Security Advisor Donald Trump picking Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, former Green Beret, versus Jake Sullivan. Really more of an indoor guy, if you ask me. Jake Sullivan is a guy in way over his head, and it's been that way for 4 years. Although it's got to be especially challenging for Jake giving Joe Biden advice if Joe Biden's got dementia. Michael Waltz will not have that problem. Here's Jake Sullivan.
Has anyone, U.S. citizen or otherwise, been able to leave Gaza?
So far, we have not been able to get American citizens through the border crossing, and I'm not aware of anyone else being able to get out at this time.
Okay, so how about our press secretary? Right now it's Karine Jean-Pierre versus a question mark because Donald Trump still hasn't picked a press secretary yet, although we keep hearing Alina Habba. But honestly, at this point, I'd take the question mark because at least the question mark would answer questions. The core purpose of being White House press secretary is to answer questions from the press. Karine Jean-Pierre has turned gaslighting, a phrase that I loathe, into an art form. Any other human being is going to be an upgrade over Karine Jean-Pierre at this point. Listen.
Wait, no, you can't. Karine? I'm answering. Okay, we're going to move on. Would you let me answer the question, or are you going to? Okay.
You don't give us questions.
Okay. I'm trying to answer your question. I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree that our actions are giving. Is that what you're saying?
So I certainly don't have anything to announce from here. Look.
Can you clarify whether when you took the podium yesterday, did you not know that was a
and I want to say that is my bad. That is part of definitely part of the explanation of what had occurred. I did know that. I did know that. I did know that.
Yeah, I don't think she gets a job at MSNBC. Jen Psaki did. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem versus Alejandro Mayorkas. And this one, by far, one of the easiest. Donald Trump could pick a houseplant as his Homeland Security Secretary, and it would do a better job than Alejandro. He will always be remembered for fundamentally trying to change America, for letting the worst people on the planet, criminals, cross the border over a 4-year period. More people have crossed the southern border in the 4 years that this guy has been in charge than during any other 4-year period in our history. Kristi Noem absolutely has her work cut out for her, but the effects of what Mayorkas has done at our southern border will impact America forever. Our border czar is Tom Homan, also a very clear upgrade over Kamala Harris. Homan spent 34 years with the Border Patrol. That's 34 years at the border. Kamala has been to the border twice as border czar. You could make the argument that Kamala lost the election over this one single issue. For Attorney General, it's Merrick Garland, a sad, very weak little man, versus Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. That announcement just coming down. Another pick the media cannot believe right now, but any lawyer in America, Matt Gaetz is a lawyer, would do a better job than Merrick Garland. Jeffrey Toobin. Remember Jeffrey Toobin over at CNN? They brought him back. Like, how many lawyers are there? You got to bring Jeffrey Toobin back. Michael Avenatti. How about Michael Cohen? They would all do a better job than Merrick Garland. I don't support their candidacy, but they would do a better job. Merrick Garland's legacy is simple. For the next 1,000 years, when you Google weaponization of the Justice Department, Merrick Garland's little face will pop up on the screen. There it is. Bye, Merritt. Okay, so permanent Washington has never understood what we're talking about here. It seems so obvious to the American people. The fact that Pete Hegseth has never worked at the Pentagon is actually a good thing. The fact that Matt Gaetz has never spent a day at the Department of Justice is an asset for the Trump administration. Last week, Tuesday, was a recalibration for the country, and the correction is already happening. Everywhere, suddenly today, the sky really is blue. Up really is up, down really is down, versus the last 4 years where the opposite of truth and the opposite of common sense have ruled the day. But those days are over, maybe forever.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.